save $10. Trust the experts at Batteries Plus.
Did you know that all graduates of Local 234's apprenticeship program are licensed journeymen? That means all plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC techs will have hundreds of hours of experience and have passed the Jacksonville City Licensed Journeyman exam. They're the best trained and safest skilled tradespeople in the industry. Don't leave yourself exposed to inadequate workmanship or even danger. Always hire a licensed journeyman. Local 234. Make the right connection. Equal opportunity employer.
Watching a Gator game can bring you tears of joy and sorrow. I'm Hayes Carline. My instant reaction is brought to you by 5 Star Pizza. Bigger, better, faster pizza on 1010XL social channels.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving, they can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
How many MLB records does Pete Rose still hold?
How long has it been since you compared homeowners' insurance rates? Log on to southernoak.com to get an instant quote or find an agent near you.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Pete Rose holds the Major League Baseball records for most hits, most at-bats, most games played, and is tied for most seasons with 200 or more hits.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Get up on it.
It's a Mike DeRocco Thursday on Jaguars Today. Is brought to you by Lloyd's Heating and Air on 1010XL.
I got these dueling texts. By the way, welcome into the YouTube audience. For the first time this morning. Pockets was over picking up food for us so long you forgot to click us on, I think, on the YouTube.
Wow, you're just blaming them and throwing them out there.
I don't control it. I get people asking, what's wrong with the YouTube channel?
You could have just went technical difficulties, but you threw Pockets right under the bus.
There are no technical difficulties. Click the button. It's on now. It's fine. I
tried to save you, but no.
Yeah, it's all right. I forgot his star looked. I was like, oh, my bad.
Did I blame technical difficulties when Keenan Allen didn't catch a pass for the last 2.5 quarters last week? No, I didn't.
That's a shame.
I wanted to
at least not over
him.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got my gag reflex just kicked in because you're talking about black pudding. That was followed immediately by black pudding looks disgusting, but it's very good. So there you go.
Yeah.
If you like the black pudding,
I had it.
have
It was
at
fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And somebody also pointed out that steak has blood, but it's not made primarily.
No.
It's not like the main ingredient.
Well, that's like a.
I will say
like when
that
you
I
cut
was
into a steak on your plate. That's not blood.
I was not aware that it was blood when I was served it. Right, so I didn't have that in my head. That was like, oh, I'm eating blood. Like that wasn't what was in my head. It was like, okay, this is part of an English breakfast.
I'm gonna eat it.
You know, like in some place. And so it was like, all right, it's on the plate. I'll try it. That's fine. Whatever that is, that's fine.
Had you known it was blood, though, would you have eaten it?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
I'll try a lot of stuff. I just don't know about that one.
Haggis? Have you tried haggis?
I have not, and I would try it.
It's pretty disgusting.
Is it? It doesn't sound like it would be very good.
I might have I might have eaten like the tiny end of a pencil size taste. Nope, that's enough. Yeah. That's enough for me.
Sounds like the sound of haggis.
Then again, I eat a lot of stuff that I'm sure I thought as a kid I would never eat. You know what I mean? So you grow older, your tastes change.
Absolutely.
All right, D-Rock's going to heat us up some all-day breakfast a little bit later on.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get to Press Taylor. Should we do? Let's do Mike Caldwell here first. Got a little longer cuts from Press Taylor. We'll save that for the next segment. So, and the defense deserves top billing. Anyway, based on the way they played the first month of the season, D-Rock, that was a pretty spectacular first half. I mean, Atlanta could do nothing. And this is a pretty game Atlanta team. I mean, they started the season 2-0. It wasn't, we didn't expect them to be really good this year, but the Jags made them look like they didn't belong on the same field with them, at least for the first half. A little bit more successful in the second half, though. But how impressed were you with the defense's performance this week?
Really impressed. I mean, look, that's what I thought they should have done, or that's what I was expecting them to do against Houston. Ritter's not a rookie quarterback, but essentially he kind of is. Dominate the team you're supposed to dominate. Take, a bad offensive line and go get the quarterback, harass him into a couple of throws, make some mistakes, to take advantage of them. Bijan got off a little bit, but you know what? If they're only giving up 7 points.
Had a couple of good runs in the second half.
I mean, it was fine. They played really, really well. And if they had done that against Houston the way they should have, we're having a pretty different conversation about this team coming in to this Bills game. And nationally, people are starting to talk about, okay, well, maybe the Jags are really, they bounced back from that Kansas City loss, and that defense is playing way higher than we expected. Maybe they are a legitimate threat to be the number one AFC.
If
seed.
Only they hadn't given up 38
7
or whatever it was. Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
37. I mean, that there's always that one or two games at the end of the year that you go back and you look and you go, how did they lose that game?
How did they lose it in that fashion?
And along with, how did they win this game?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at 21, they played the Bills and won 9-6. Josh Allen had a monster, phenomenal day against the other Josh Allen.
Josh Allen,
yes.
Correct. Yes.
And, you're like, at the end of the year, you look back and you go, wait, they beat the Bills 9-6? How did they do that? So I think at the end of the year, this is probably going to be the one game, that Houston game will be the one game where they go, how did they lose that game?
I hope so. I really do. I hope that's the case. All right, let's get into Mike Caldwell speaking yesterday about the other Josh Allen. Says they got to have a plan in place for when he takes off.
The skill set that he has, he's a great runner, he's a great thrower, so you have to get bodies around him. He's a big guy that it's going to be hard for one guy to bring him down. So our plan is to get multiple guys around him and try to get him on the ground.
Look, you've already faced Anthony Richardson. This is a guy who will absolutely run, but when he gets outside the pocket, Tony, he's not looking to do one read and tuck it necessarily. He'll still rope it 60 yards downfield to Stephon Diggs or Gabe Davis if you're not careful. So it's a particular challenge when you get him outside the pocket on the edge.
For sure it is, and he's a tough guy when he takes off, too, to get to the ground, right? So you have to have a tackle plan when you're playing a guy like Josh Allen, but he is willing to be patient before he takes off. He is not that one read and go type guy that has the mobility that Josh Allen has. Dave Caldwell also, or Mike Caldwell, said yesterday that he wants the identity of this team on that side of the ball to be forcing turnovers.
I think, I don't know if it's our identity, but we want it to be that. We focus on that a bunch. That's a topic in, almost every meeting. We have to take the ball away from the offense and give it back to our offense. So that's one of the things that we like to do, and we've had a little bit of success here lately of getting them, so hopefully they'll continue to come.
D-Rock, can they continue to force turnovers if they're not consistently getting pressure? Like, they've had 2 games where they have had the 4 sacks. Like, Josh Allen's had 2 monster games this year so far, particularly this past week. But, can you count on that being your identity if you're not consistently in the backfield putting pressure on quarterbacks?
No, because it goes hand in hand. Pressure and turnovers goes hand in hand.
Like creating the opportunity for turnovers.
Yeah, like the last turnover in that game the other day is created by pressure. Now, the 2 interceptions that the Jags had, the Cisco interception and the Darius Williams, were just bad reads by the quarterback.
Right. But the Cisco interception against Kansas City was a direct result of pressure.
Correct. Yeah, it goes hand in hand. They didn't get any turnovers against the Texans. Well, they didn't get any pressure against the Texans. 30 dropbacks for C.J. Stroud. They hit him 4 times. That's bad. So, yeah, it does go hand in hand. But the good thing is you're playing a quarterback in Josh Allen who can be wild and, as we've seen, has a 3 or 4 interception day in him. and it can kind of snowball on the guy.
Did he get it out of his system, though?
Maybe,
early in the year.
But who knows? I mean, he has a history of being able to do that. So I don't know if it's similar to Anthony Richardson because he's much more experienced and he's a little bit smarter. But the same vein
similar,
is like,
just that you've got a big guy.
Right, you
that
can't turn your back.
This is not a quarterback in the sense of he's any kind of shrinking violet. Like Josh Allen will still run you over, even though he's trying to slide more. Guy that big, you better have a plan when you go try to tackle him. He will run you over,
and he'll still try to hurdle somebody every week. Right? Like once a week, that guy in the middle of the field will try to hurdle an NFL defender, and sometimes it works, and sometimes I'm sure every time I bet the coaching staff is watching and going,
"Don't do it,
stop!"
Right, and then he does it, and they're like, "All right,
well, he scored.
Right, don't do it again.
We can't stop him from doing it. I think you got to get to him early in that case. D-Rock, I think he's a guy that there will be games where he will throw the 3 or 4 picks where it just goes off the rails for him a little bit, but I think you got to get in his head with that early, right? Like you force one of those early in this football game and maybe he goes, you know what, I can't force it. Like you get him into that place where he's like, I got to make up for that mistake because I do think that's what happens to him. I got to make up for that mistake, and it's like, no, you don't. Like if you're on the coaching staff, just make the next play, whatever the right play is the next time out, but it does feel like he's still a little bit erratic with that, where he does try to make up for whatever mistakes he's making within a game. Get to him early. We'll see what happens.
And the fact that Sean McDermott was having that conversation with him in the opener in year, whatever this is, 6 or 7, you shouldn't have to have that conversation with your quarterback at that level who's in year 6 or 7. And the other thing, the Jags, if they can frustrate Stephon Diggs and get him a little annoyed, and then on the sideline they're going back and forth, and I think that's an overlooked part of how to kind of get in Josh Allen's head too.
Mm-hmm. Let's continue on here with Mike Caldwell. Our Josh Allen, what did he focus on from last year to put himself in a better position now?
Well, really, Josh he's had a bunch of pressures last year, and he went home and focused on really just finishing. And as a staff and as a defense, we talked about finishing, and he's been able to finish early on in the season, and we look for that to continue. Josh put the work in the offseason. He's a talented player. He came back, and it's paying off for him.
That's all that was missing, right, was that handful of sacks where he finishes, when he gets there. It's not like he wasn't hitting the quarterback.
No.
For the last several years, especially last year, it just wasn't ending in sacks. Well, a couple 3-sack games this year. Let's see if he can stack some of those going forward. They certainly will need him to, with not a whole lot of pressure coming from anywhere else.
Yeah,
that defensive
tied
front.
for the league lead with 6 sacks, and he's got 20 pressures, which is tied for 10th. He's on pace for 85 pressures, which would be the best of his career. Obviously, he's got a chance to obliterate his personal high in sacks, but let's see how the rest of it goes. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mike Caldwell yesterday also being asked, we got a couple members of the secondary up for our poll today asking who is the defensive MVP for this football team through the first 4 weeks of the season, and Mike Caldwell said yesterday that he likes his secondary.
I think when you look at it, it all goes together, the pass rush and the secondary. And when the pass rush is doing well, the secondary is doing well. When the secondary is doing well, the pass rush is doing well. So it really goes together, and right now, we're working pretty good together.
And along those lines, just said, as you would expect, they're playing better because they're in year 2 in the same system.
Yeah, it is. You can go back to just early on in the season, they're able to pass things off. Now, we did have a couple of bad plays against Texas where we reverted back. But, again, it's a work in progress. The guys are continuing to get better, and we'll continue to progress like that way.
A guy that is having a breakout season, it looks like, is Andre Sisco, right? They draft him. The story with him was he's around the ball, going to be around turnovers a bunch for this football team. Didn't happen at the level I think a lot of people expected through those first couple of years. His rookie year is what it is with how much he was being allowed to play at this point. We've discussed that over and over, but he has certainly been around the football a ton this year. Knocked Anthony Richardson out of that game in week 1, by the way, too. So playing physical as well. And Coach Caldwell was asked about Sisco and how has he improved from last year.
Really, his understanding of the overall scheme is better, and he's catching the ball. He had opportunities last year, and he didn't come up with those catches. Now he's coming down with them, and, he's a talented player. He has all the skill. He has a bunch of range back there, and you like the way he's attacking the ball, and he'll continue to do that.
Could use a couple of those this week, obviously. I mean, that Jeff Logman said it on Tuesday. You could say this about a lot of NFL games, but this one in particular feels like the Jags might need to win this turnover battle by a couple to put themselves in good position. Maybe steal a touchdown along the way, whether you score defensively, set the team up with a short field offensively that they can pay off. But and I think some of it is it is a week-to-week league, but we're basing this so much on what we just saw the Buffalo Bills do to the Miami Dolphins. It's hard not to. When Miami's coming off scoring 70, they get held to 20 the following week, and Buffalo felt like they could have named their score on Miami last week. And you wonder, though, a little bit, being in the division, Miami having all the hype, well-deserved coming off that game, that Buffalo kind of circled that game a little bit and said, hey, we want to establish.
Just a reminder.
We're still the team in the AFC East right here, right? And they clearly are, and I'm not saying they're going to overlook Jacksonville. I mean, like you said, 2 years ago, that they're probably sitting there, Tony, and going, how do we score 6 points against this team? A lot of the same guys are on this team, and I agree with you. Frustrate them early. It's not just Josh Allen in particular. Just have some success against that team and have them start questioning, what is it about this team that does it to us? Because the Jags have played really well defensively the last few outings against the Bills. And granted, a lot of different personnel over that time.
Well, and it's not all that uncommon in the league for even one of the better teams in the league after winning a big game like that to have a letdown, the next week. And then you combine that with they are traveling to London, and that is a little bit different as far as just game prep, those kind of, it changes things as far as that as well. So if there was going to be a letdown for the Bills, I wouldn't put it past them for this to be the week they have one of those, right? It's not impossible for this to be the week that happens, especially, and with the Jags being 2-2 instead of 3-1 or 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
Going into this is a game that maybe a month ago, if you're a Bills player, gotta have that one. Now you look at it and say, they're okay. Right? I wouldn't be surprised if in the locker room that's the way that it's being looked at, and that would be the formula for how a letdown happens. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but that's how a letdown happens in the league.
Yeah, and I've talked about it before. I think we've all talked about it. The first month of the season is always a little weird and a little bit off.
Yeah.
Now we're at the point after the first quarter where we see what teams are going to start to become. And I'm saying that knowing that last year the Jags were that bad at the midway point and somehow turned it around thanks largely to a Titans losing streak that still doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you look back at it. But I think we'll now start to see who the Jags really are start to emerge now. Offensively, they did some good things last week, but it's going to take a heck of a lot more than that to go against a Bills team that, like you said, just stopped Tyreek and Waddle and Mostert and every other track star that's playing in the league.
And as much as we've lauded the Jaguars' defense for the job they did against Atlanta, when you look at the final raw stats, they were 25 yards less than the Jags on the day. The Jags didn't move the ball a ton. Now, granted, when you get a pick six, that changes the dynamic of the –
should have had two.
Right, but you get that one, that takes away an offensive possession from you. They get the ball back, so – That does skew the stats to some degree, but still, all in all, when we feel so good about how our defense played against their offense, to look at the numbers at the end of the day, other than the points. But even then, 70 of your points came on that Darius Williams interception return. So offense is work in progress, I think, is a very fair way to put it right now for this team. We'll hear more on that side of the ball coming up next, though, with Press Taylor speaking. Was that this morning, these guys speaking, or I guess this afternoon they spoke over in London, but our morning, still morning here. D-Rock, what time is it right now?
Yes.
just check.
I know it's between 10 and 11 because I had to be here at 10. The phone reminder and alarm had me going.
You think you're on fumes, by the way. D-Rock said if this was like a 3 o'clock show, it might not have worked out
You might have had to have a long stick and poked me after every couple of minutes to make sure I was still awake.
He came for the full American breakfast is what he came for today. All right, we'll come back with Press Taylor, Jaguars offensive coordinator, see what he is cooking up for the Jags to hopefully knock off the Buffalo Bills in London this week. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Mike DeRocco, and Dylan Denmark here with you. It's Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Underdog Fantasy's pick'em game. You can play pick'em with Thursday Night Football tonight. You can play pick'em on the weekends. You can play pick'em anytime you like. You can play a multi-game slate. You can play in one game. All you have to do is head to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the Underdog Fantasy app in the App Store and click on the Pick'em tab. And when you get there, you'll see how easy it is. They'll have a bunch of players' options on there with stats that they're projecting. You decide whether each player is going to get more or less than the projected stats. Do it for 2 to 5 players, multiply your money, and maybe win big with Underdog Fantasy. And just for playing, you might win really big with 100K Sundays. Every Sunday, Underdog giving away $10,000 in cold hard cash to 10 different winners simply because they're playing their pick'em game. Every entry equals a ticket, so the only way to win is to play. Head over to UnderdogFantasy.com to get started. You do have to be 18 or older and present in a state like Florida where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ncpgambling.org.
This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Unwrap the football weekend.
That's going to take a while. Then you better get started.
Sink your teeth into Dandy Foods Postgame Monday.
So, where do we go from here?
Get entertaining insight on Sunday's games all day Monday.
Let me guess.
On 1010XL.
Exactly.
More than qualified to handle your roof. Call J&M and we'll show you the proof. Check with our customers and they all say only one way to go, the J&M way.
Hurricane season is now through late October. If your home sustains damage, don't wait. Call us. J&M Roofing, storm restoration specialist. J&M Roofing, under the umbrella. Call 904-337-0509.
License number CCC 1331951.
In 1958, the world was introduced to Buddy Guy.
I sit and cry and sing the blues.
Don't miss the legend live.
You're damn right, I got the blues.
The Damn Right Farewell Tour. Friday, October 20th, the St. Augustine Amphitheater. Special guest, Chris Stone, Kingfish Ingram. Tickets on sale now at theamp.com. The Damn Right Farewell Tour. Buddy Guy.
Beards Diamonds has been busy this fall, getting their showcases ready for the largest inventory of wedding bands in North Florida.
Don't miss Beards Diamonds' incredible Buy One, Get One wedding band sale going on now
At the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
At Ratify Credit Union, we know that a dream home is about more than location and square footage. It's about fulfilling the dream of homeownership and all the dreaming that takes place inside. Building a nursery, starting a business, throwing a graduation party. That's why at Ratify, we're more than just home lenders. We're the fulfiller of dreams. With home and home equity loans that prove dream homes do come true. Ratify Credit Union. Make waves. Ratify Credit Union is an equal housing lender insured by NCUA.
Serving sausage and stories for lunch every day.
I'm former Pro Bowl offensive lineman Leon Searcy. Listen for my stories doing Lunch with Leon or XL Primetime.
Brought to you by the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose. Weekdays on 1010XL.
You've got a circle of friends, right? Well, how about a circle of beer? All your favorites like Bud Light, Bud Heavy, Mick Ultra, or Natty Light. It's all there in the cold case at Circle K. Probably one right around the corner right now calling your name. Slide on in to a Circle K.
Whether it's a mopped floor, a spilled drink, or even a few drops of rain, a slippery situation at a store or business can cause a dangerous slip and fall. If you've suffered injuries in a slip and fall, call Fair & Farah. Our team of investigators will examine the facts to determine if the business was negligent. When it comes to slip and fall cases, the burden of proof is on the injury victim, so contact us right away. When you fall hard, we fight harder. Fair & Farah, Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you. Family function or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows in $2.95.
Picture this. It's a dark and stormy night, and your toilet is acting possessed. But fear not, for Duck Duck Rooter is here to exorcise those plumbing demons and banish them to the netherworld. So if you're facing a plumbing horror story straight out of a nightmare, summon the spectral expertise of Duck Duck Rooter. Call 904-862-6769 and bid those plumbing phantoms farewell. Duck Duck Rooter, where we tackle plumbing scares so you don't have to.
For the past 5
5 years in Jacksonville, J-Dog Junk Removal has been on a mission to put veterans back to work. They have successfully helped over 40 veterans find meaningful employment, and they're not stopping there. Their goal is to reach an astounding 75 veterans employed by the year 2025, all in our local community. J-Dog Junk Removal, veteran-owned, veteran-operated.
All right, Jeff, all I need you to say is, hi, I'm Jeff Lagerman, and me and everybody I played professional football with thinks Shark Coatings is the best.
I'm not going to do that.
You can't. What will you say?
Well, I mean, look, the floor is durable. It's easy to clean. It looks fantastic. It's the second time I've used it. What more do I need to say?
I mean, that works too, I guess.
Okay. Can you step off the ladder?
No one's going to know.
Trust me, they'll know. You're not as tall as I. Thanks.
This is Dr. James Perry, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jags offensive coordinator Press Taylor spoke on the Bills getting one of their best linebackers back on the field, Von Miller.
Well, either fortunately or unfortunately, we have about 10 years of tape on him. So we know what type of player he's capable of being. So he's one of those guys that you have to be aware of. He's a game wrecker. And we would imagine, if he's using bits and pieces, it's probably going to be on critical situations where he gets a chance to rush the passer. But if he's playing every single down, that's something you got to be aware of as well. So he's somebody that will pay the respect he's earned.
Press Taylor, courtesy of Jaguars.com. I'm Molly McDonald with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. It's a Mike DeRocco Thursday on Jaguars Today. Is brought to you by Lloyd's Heating and Air on 1010XL.
D-Rock came scrambling in to the studio right there. Did not want to miss another very cutting edge 10 minutes of Jaguar discussion right here. I didn't know where I was going with that sentence.
Yeah.
You ever do that? Just open your mouth. It's kind of the life of a radio host. You better keep going.
Oh, yeah.
Don't quite know where this one's headed.
Dead air.
Dead air. Dead air. Can't have dead air.
No space for that. By the way, Big Meech watching us again on YouTube. Saying that he is tuned in today just to see us eat the breakfast out of a can. He said that you showed it to him last week while y'all were over there, and he thinks it's going to be hilarious to watch us try to eat whatever is contained in that can.
That's not a good sign, is it?
I know it's like 27% beans. That's what I can tell you about what's in
27 or 29?
29.
What did you say? 29?
Something like that.
Yeah.
High 20% beans.
I looking at Demetrius on social media today, I thought he had something to do. Didn't he have somewhere to be? Didn't he have a couple of days off or something? He's got nothing better to do than wait to see us to dig into the full English breakfast in a can with 29% beans. You would have thought.
I did not see him tweet anything about that, but
no, he put it in the YouTube chat. He's right there in the chat in the YouTube chat room. There he is, Demetrius Harvey.
He's leaving in a few hours. He just let us know.
D, I'm going to bring you some at the Colts game. So don't you worry. You'll get your taste, too.
Yeah. They got a microwave down there.
Yeah,
right?
Somewhere. I'll bring it earlier in the week. Yeah, I should probably just do that.
Our leftovers there, man. D-Ryan, the only thing, man, he came back with a bunch of dented cans, Tony, and he claims, they were fine when I got on the plane.
Stoff will verify they were fine.
I trust that guy. The former Breakfast Bowl record keeper. He's got an axe to grind, that guy.
I wrapped them in, stuff, put them in my luggage, checked the luggage.
I hear you.
And you go through customs. And the customs official in New York says, "Do you try have any food? Blah blah blah, whatever you're bringing into the country." And I said, "Yeah, I got some 4 cans of English breakfast in a can." And the look that guy gave me was priceless. And then he goes, "Yeah, you're fine."
Yeah, you got bigger problems than me, buddy.
Yeah,
don't worry about the TSA.
Yeah, you're going to be in trouble. 5 minutes after.
Yes, you will. All right. By the way, how long does botulism take to kick in? My mom's like, don't buy a dented can. And I get it, right? You can, there are reasons you don't do that, health reasons you don't buy a dented can, but I don't think it's that quick that we need to worry about.
I don't think it's that quick. I've read some of the stories and books about, when they were trying to find the Arctic Pass in those ships that are cutting through the ice, and all they had to eat that whole time was whatever they had in a can.
Cans of English breakfast.
Right, like cans of whatever, like cans of fruit, cans of everything, right? And then, you get stuck in that ice for 8 months, and the food goes bad, and it's all right, well, we eat each other or we risk the cans, like being in that kind of situation.
And
so
what'd they do?
It can happen, but I think...
Did they eat the cans, or did they become cannibals?
Some of them become cannibals.
Okay, the conclusion of the breakfast bowl, year 10. Okay, we're cutting off someone's finger and eating it live on the air.
Well, I'm looking here from the United States Department of Agriculture. It says a can with a small dent that is in good shape otherwise and there's no denting at the seam of the can is fine.
All right.
Is that the seam of the can?
It's close.
We'll overlook that.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on with it here. Save that. Put that aside, D-Rock. Let us get back to the Jaguars and Press Taylor. Jaguar offensive coordinator was asked yesterday, interesting question, does he focus on getting better with what they're good at, or is he more looking to be creative and add new things to the repertoire?
There's always a combination of those sort of factors, of doing what we do, doing or things we know really well, inside and out, but also things that put our guys in the position to do what they do well, but also attack a defense and how they want to play the certain situation, because every defense is different. So every game plan changes a little bit, and there's sort of a give and take of just do what we do, attack what they do, put everybody in the best position. So kind of a case by case.
Yeah, it almost seems like a little bit of a borderline gotcha question. Like, it seems like something like the fans would ask, why does Press Taylor not focus on what we do well? Why is he only concerned with being creative and coming up with some new wrinkle?
Well?
I don't know.
That's the question I would have. What do they do well at this point, offensively?
I mean, Trevor throws the ball well, right?
Okay.
I mean, so trying to put him in the best position. I would think that, obviously, like you said, it's a combination of things, but you're trying to come up with creative ways to give different looks to present the things that you do well, right? Like, you don't just line up and run the same play over and over. I mean, if they can't stop it, sure you do, right? But most NFL defenses are sophisticated enough that they're going to catch on, and they're going to do that. So good teams will run the same play out of a lot of different formations, a lot of different personnel packages sometimes almost. If the guys, if it's a running play, you want guys out there who can block well, but you might have this receiver on the field, you might have the other receiver on the field, so you're just trying
to an opposite side of the field.
Absolutely.
You might run a play that looks like that, off of that. Yeah.
Exactly. Put guys in motion, and you're just trying to disguise what you're doing, but you're right. That's a good question. What do they do? What is the thing, Tony, they do best offensively right now?
Ooh, who?
I'll tell you, let me jump in. Well, I know I asked you,
short
but
passing is what they do well.
I thought, to me, it's Trevor Lawrence managing the rush, despite the fact that we know the offensive line hasn't been great, right? The pressure's been there. Trevor Lawrence still, like Pro Football Focus ranks him the second best quarterback in the league through 4 games. Now they're factoring in on-target throws that weren't caught, high-level throws and things like that, a high degree of difficulty throws that he is being successful with. That, to me, is like he makes the offensive line better. I think if you had a lesser talent back there with, slower processing speed, then you'd probably end up taking a lot more sacks through the first 4 games than with the same exact pressure that Trevor Lawrence has faced.
I think they, in the building, have a pretty good idea of what they want it to be, right? And trying to get to the point where they can get to be where they want it to be right now. It's not an easy riddle to solve, right? Because you are having the offensive line issues. And for the first 3 weeks of the season, at least, the drops were an issue. Like, there were different things at different spots that were an issue. But, yeah, Trevor Lawrence has been excellent when it comes to evading the pressure that the offensive line is allowing. It doesn't look as bad as it is, right? Because of how well Trevor Lawrence is playing and adjusting to those kinds of things. But I think in the building, they know what they want it to be. D-Rock, I think because of all those other things, it's hard from the outside to look at it and say, oh, that's who they are, right? But I think inside, they know. They're just trying to figure out how to get to it again.
Yeah, and I think that they were, I don't want to say caught off guard. It has probably been a little surprising at how poorly Ben Bartch has played, because he was playing okay, solid, before he got hurt last year. Now, the guy's coming back. He had a bad knee, and then, boom, then 2 weeks after he's back in the practicing, he's in the starting lineup. So, look, there's a reason they went to Shatley because that's how poorly Ben Barch had been playing. And they're like, look, this can't continue. And that has, despite what everybody wants to say and throw it all on Press Taylor and say it's play calling, the offensive line has been the biggest issue with this offense, without question to me. And that impacts everything you do and every play call that you make. So this week it looks like Cam's coming back, and I know we'll talk about the offensive line later, and we'll see how that goes and impacts this offense going forward. But if they can stabilize the offensive line, and if that one move can kind of do that, then maybe this offense will start to take off.
And the offensive line this week will be tested by a Bills front that is tied for the league lead in sacks with 16 for the Bills as a team. And Coach Taylor was asked about the Bills' defensive line.
Yeah, they do a great job of subbing, pretty much kind of hockey subbing their defensive line, where it's the whole 2 unit comes in, the 1 unit gets a break. They're rolling guys in and out. They've got a lot of really good players, be it defensive tackle or defensive end. It's certainly something you try to plan against. Maybe you have times where you want to change the tempo just to keep a certain group on the field or keep a certain group off the field. So there's certainly different ways you want to attack them when teams are doing something like that as you go.
Somebody asked on the text line, I'll kind of boil the question down to its essence. Trayvon Walker, did we make the right decision? And we've had this debate, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson is playing better than Trayvon Walker at this point. But, part of the question was, I'd mentioned this week that Ed Oliver finally starting to put it all together, right? Ed Oliver, a lot of people thought he's going to be the next great defensive tackle coming out of Pitt. And he had a little of that. Hey, I went to the same school as Aaron Donald, so it's going to – you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make you Aaron Donald, but Aaron Oliver's having a tremendous start to the season this year, creating a lot of pressure, a lot of havoc in the backfield. And so this guy asked, can we at least hope that Trayvon Walker will turn into that kind of player? Sure you can. But when you take a guy number 1 overall,
I'm not waiting 5. I don't need him to be 4 or 5 years in and then start playing.
I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of Bills fans that got frustrated, waiting for when are we going to get this production out of Ed Oliver as well. This is year 5 for him.
I think Ed Oliver got some of that Aaron Donald talk, but he went to Houston.
Oh, he did. That's right. Yeah. Who am I thinking of? Maybe it was Kalijah Kancey.
Maybe, yeah.
That I was thinking of that went to Pitt. Good call. Ed Oliver did have 5 sacks his rookie year, right? But he's got 3 already through the first month of the season. So he's on a career best pace right now. But, Ed Oliver, if you look at his numbers as a defensive tackle, better than Trayvon Walker's were right out of the gates. And I feel like a lot of people felt like he was maybe a bit of a disappointment early on. So, it is what it is. Trayvon, it's not, again, you say it's not Trayvon's fault. Doesn't really matter. No. You invested the number 1 pick in a guy that is not giving you number 1 pick level production right now.
And the bet that was made based on everything that they did in this offseason or didn't do was that in year 2, Trayvon Walker would take a big step forward, right? Like that's the bet that the organization has made. Trayvon Walker is going to take that big step up. He's going to be the running mate with Josh Allen on the other side. Now, how much of that is affected by the issues they're having on the interior right now? Probably some. Right, like DeJuan Smoot back on the practice field right now. Devon Hamilton out for this football team to this point. I'm not saying that has no impact, but what they were betting on, it's been a bad bet through 4 games this season. That doesn't mean that he won't eventually develop into something as a pass rusher in this league, but they bet that he would do it now, not halfway through the season, not in 2024, now. That's why they didn't sign anybody.
Well, and that's the mistake there. Is thinking you can't – I don't know how logically you could look at it and count on that guy going from 3.5 sacks to 12 sacks. It's an illogical thing to think he's going to take that step.
Even if you didn't think he was going from 3.5 to 12, you'd think, okay, we believe we've got a special talent athletically, right? And we can get more out of him. I don't even have much of an issue with them thinking that Trayvon could take a leap. It's, okay, turn around and look behind you. What do you have after that? Caleb Chason, who averages a sack a year. And that's literally, and Yasir Abdullah, who is a 5th-round pick undersized guy. That's it. That's what you're counting on. And I guess getting pressure up front. Now, no Devon Hamilton certainly hurts, but the rest of those guys, with the occasional exception of Roy Robertson Harris, are not getting any pressure on the defensive line. So I think the miscalculation is worse. Trayvon at least has a couple sacks through 4 games, right? Yeah. I mean, he's on pace to have 8 right now, 8, maybe 9, 8.5, whatever, which is not game-wrecking necessarily, but it'd be a step in the right direction. It's, after Allen and Walker, there's just nothing.
The one thing that surprised me last year was when we asked Trayvon Walker what his offseason plans were. Are you going to the Von Miller pass rush camp? And he was like, no. And that was a little bit surprising. If I were the Jaguars, I'd have said, here are the 4 or 5 guys you need to study tape-wise all offseason. We want you to go to that camp if you still have it. I don't know if he still had it this past year. I'm assuming he still had it.
Don't know.
Because he's done it every year.
He's been hurt.
Yeah, that's the thing. But you could still have the camp.
Sure.
But they needed to come up with a plan for him to become a better pass rusher.
I agree with you. Right. We could say, hey, he didn't pick himself number 1, but it is his responsibility to add to his repertoire. Yes, he's got to get good coaching to do it, but he's got to kind of take that on himself to say, hey, this is where I'm going to, improve my game and bring more tools in my toolkit next year. And we just, at least so far, haven't seen much evidence of that.
More than at any other point in its history is predicated upon the players doing that kind of thing, right? The coaches just have so limited time with these guys on the field to actually work on any of that stuff that would help you improve. You got to do that on your own.
All right, we'll take a timeout here. We'll come back with a little bit more from Prez Taylor. Apparently, D-Rock's going to offer us up some well-heated English breakfast in a can. I hope it'll be well-heated. I don't know. I might just be better off just dipping a spoon right in there and just holding my nose and hoping for the best. But Demetrius Harvey will get the big payoff that he's been waiting for in the YouTube stream. When we return in a moment, you can hop on there as well and watch the carnage to follow. Breakfast Bowl next hour as well. More from Prez Taylor straight ahead. You're listening to Jaguars Today with Mike DiRocco in studio here with us on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Tire Outlet, inviting you to ride in style. Get a brand new set of tires from Tire Outlet because they offer the best selection, best quality, and best prices, and they've got a legendary price match guarantee on any new set of tires. Look, they've also got expert technicians ready to do all the maintenance and repairs to keep your vehicle performing at its best. But boy, do they have tires. Over 300,000 in the local inventory, stacked floor to ceiling in their local warehouse. If they don't have them at the Tire Outlet location of your choice, they'll have them out to you in less than an hour. That's Tire Outlet, where you always get wholesale prices and premium service.
This is Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute studios.
JOI, where the pros go. 1010XL is your home for play-by-play of Bishop Kenny football.
This is Coach Krause of the Bishop Kenny Crusaders. We're back on the road on Friday night at Ponte Vedra. You can listen live on 92.5 FM.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art? At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary. At First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Hi, this is Travis Cummings of the Bailey Group, and I specialize in working with medium and large companies to ensure their employees get the best benefits possible.
This is John Gall from Borland Groover, and our job is to provide exceptional care for our patients, and Travis Cummings from the Bailey Group has the same goal: provide exceptional benefits and coverage for everyone at Borland Group.
Businesses on the First Coast. Call me, Travis Cummings, at 461-1800, and I'll make sure your employees are well taken care of.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
the flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
When it comes to commercial fence services, Superior Fence and Rail has you covered. If your business needs automatic gates or security fence and railings, trust Superior with your next commercial project. Superior's team delivers great communication, high-quality products, and exceptional customer service. Just read any of their 2,300-plus reviews.
When you're on the fence about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hey, this is Bert Cannon with the First Coast YMCA. Youth sports at the Y can help nurture your future athlete's potential and experience the joy of being a kid. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, and fun environment with basketball, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, elite skills training, and more. Best of all, participation in Legacy Youth Sports League is free with your family membership. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for full details. The JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. For the athletes who give everything, nothing beats Gatorade. The studied, tested, and proven fuel for the world's greatest athletes. Gatorade, proudly supporting high school sports on the First Coast.
Join us at Daly's Place, Tuesday, October 10th for Faith, Family, and Football. A Hall of Fame evening with Tony Dungy and Tony Baselli. These Pro Football Hall of Famers share the stage for an evening of uplifting, faith-based conversation you won't want to miss. Your purchase includes admission to this event and a ticket to the Colts-Jaguars game on October 15th. Visit jaguars.com/faithfamilyfootball to be a part of this special night.
Bring smiles to all when shopping online with Dell Technologies Gift Guide. Whether it's for the artist, the entrepreneur, the student, or the streamer, you'll find the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Dell.com/gift guide makes gifting easy with a carefully curated selection of our best tech. Shop now to explore our innovative PCs like the XPS 13 laptop, powered by the latest Intel Core processors, plus this season's top accessories. Visit Dell.com/gift guide today to get a jump on your holiday gift list. That's Dell.com/gift guide.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Need to enhance your home's curb appeal? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Replacing with new stone pavers will transform your driveway into a stunning work of art. Say goodbye to unsightly concrete and hello to beautiful, durable pavers that last for years. Visit Stonecore today and let's beautify your home together. Stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Youth sports are getting back into full swing, so you know what that means. Custom Yetis so dads can keep their beer or sodas cold. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Here's your 1010 XL local sports update, sponsored by First Coast Honda dealers. Florida football could be without its leading rusher and best offensive lineman when it faces Vanderbilt on Saturday at the Swamp. Running back Trevor Etienne and left tackle Austin Barber were among the number of players listed as questionable on the Gators depth chart. Gator head coach Billy Napier is still on the receiving end of criticism following the loss to Kentucky. He was asked how he's dealing with it.
It is what it is. I mean, I would like to think that my standards and our standards are more demanding than
anybody on the outside.
The Florida team's MLB postseason play concluded Wednesday with the Tampa Bay Rays losing back-to-back games against the Texas Rangers in the best-of-3 wildcard set. The Miami Marlins didn't fare much better as they were swept by the Philadelphia Phillies in their series. That's your 1010XL local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's 82 degrees at 11:05. Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Mike DeRocco, Thursday on Jaguars Today, is brought to you by Lloyd's Heating and Air on 1010XL.
Smells yummy. I think we're psyching ourselves up. It's probably fine.
I'm sure.
Right? I'm sure it's fine. D-Rock is coming in with fresh, hot, steaming hot bowls. Yeah, but that one's for you. I'm going to share with Taylor. In other words, I'm going to take one little bite, and Taylor's going to get the rest of this. I'm not going to make her do anything, okay? I can't make Taylor do anything around these parts.
Around these parts.
Hang on, I'm
or
all
any
caught
other
up here.
parts for that matter. But D-Rock is, I guess we'll eat it while it's hot, right? Is that the idea?
I hope, yeah.
You made it so hot, I'm afraid I'm going to burn the roof of my mouth.
I didn't want you guys whining about it's cold. I don't want to eat it.
All right, this one here looks like the sausage and chicken nugget right here with the little light thing in the middle.
I tried to cut up enough so that everyone had mushroom, everyone had whatever that is, and everyone had.
I'm going to try to hold this up to the camera.
Yeah, let me get a picture too.
Mm-hmm. My goodness. Yeah, look at this thing, man. I'm sure Dempsey appreciates you making sure he had a mushroom. I know how much he loves.
Oh, I didn't know.
I like mushrooms.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I like mushrooms. I will warn you, the beans are more tomato-y than our baked beans.
Ah, come on, D-Rock.
I'm just warning you so you know.
Where's the American version of this fine delicacy?
That won't bother me at all. It's the rest of it that might.
All right, I'll take a bite of this. Taylor's
Are we ready?
chronicling this. Taylor's trying to get out of eating by taking pictures, I think, is what's happening here. And the reason we're making Taylor participate is because, with the Awaken 180 weight loss thing, right, all these high-carb breakfasts have not been on the plan. So I've been donating my breakfast to Taylor.
Which has been fabulous.
She's been eating along. And, I mean, look, you are a reigning champ of the Breakfast Bowl. You never got a chance to defend your crown, so I felt it was only fitting.
So you get this. Congratulations, Taylor. You're all in.
We saved the haggis for you. All right.
We ready?
Yeah, everybody get a little
bite.
I got a little bit of everything,
something.
yeah.
Oh, you do it? You got a little something. Yeah, I think it's a chicken nugget thing right there. Nugget. I don't know. There's a nugget of something in there. All right. Shall we go?
That's not bad.
On 3. 1, 2, 3,
Cheers,
go.
guys.
Oh. Yeah, it's not the worst thing. I mean, it's not the worst thing. If I was trapped in the Arctic Circle, I'd certainly eat it.
Mm-hmm.
But that might be the extent of it. It's kind of like.
What does that remind me of?
The sauce is a little bit like sauce you get like in a can of ravioli.
Oh, you know what? Whatever I ate, the chicken nugget thing, tastes like when you get the can of like SpaghettiOs and meatballs.
Yes.
It's that meatball. Whatever meat that is, that's what
I
it
missed
is.
out. That's I love those little SpaghettiO meatballs. Those are fantastic. Now that you mention it, like everything kind of tastes like that.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. It's their version of SpaghettiO.
I mean, I'll finish the bowl. It's not bad at all. It's
Taylor, would you like? I don't want to take that away from you. You can pass it on down to D-Rock.
Oh.
If you can eat it if you want.
I might eat it actually.
All right,
Try
well,
some
there
of
you
these
go.
other pieces here.
You guys are brave.
now the sausage has a little bit different consistency
Yeah, that's
than
what
I
I
was
didn't
prepared
taste,
for, but it's not bad at all.
All right.
I don't know
could
what
have been worse.
I don't know what
Definitely
everyone was hoping was going to happen, but probably
Us hate it.
us like keeling over was probably on the list, but it's not bad.
No. Next time, chicken in a can. Have you ever seen that? Like the full chicken, they do the
I have seen
little
that.
mini
So
chickens and they
gross.
shove them down in a can. It's like a
the
full
heck
little.
are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Like it's like a little Cornish game hen, like shoved in a can. It's a chicken in a can, buddy.
And you see people like shake it out, and it's just like nasty, gooey juices with
yes.
like a
So this
chunk
is
of
in
a
the
full.
UK. They have chicken in
I don't know where they
Right.
have it, honestly, but I know chicken in a can.
I thought it
is
was
a
an
thing.
Asian thing.
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, if the Jags ever play
Breakfast
in
bowl
Asia,
He'll bring that back.
I'll bring that back.
The NFL's expanding.
I had
all the
something
time.
like that. I had a friend of mine that was getting married into a Vietnamese family, and they invited me over for like the wedding dinner thing, and they had that there.
Oh.
Right. I
In
didn't
the
try
can?
it. Like
Oh,
I thought it was like it felt like it was an honor to get the whole chicken, and I was like, I don't need the whole chicken. The groom can have the whole chicken.
Stoff just hit me on Twitter and said he couldn't see me eating it. So is the camera not on?
I don't know
over
how
here?
I don't know. No, your camera's on you. I did absolutely.
All right. Well, here I'm gonna eat it again.
You know.
He's like,
Drink-
here's
there you
a
go.
big old bite.
No, I got you.
So you finished it. You're eating whose bowl are you eating now?
Nobody's bowl. I'm good.
So you didn't actually finish it the first time.
I ate all the stuff. The only
He was
thing
just
left
saying
is the
he
beans.
would
just the
actually
beans.
eat it.
Okay. All right. Fine.
It is interesting.
29%
the bean
beans.
thing. The
Taylor,
beans
how's,
for
I tried to
breakfast,
count the
interesting.
beans,
It
Tony,
is.
so
They're
everybody
big on
got
the
an
beans.
equal amount.
Like if you go over there, like the buffets for the full English breakfast, you get like all kinds of like whole tomatoes, sliced tomatoes. A lot of tomatoes they like for breakfast.
I do like tomatoes.
I do too.
I don't like them for breakfast personally.
My family growing up, I don't know if it's like a super southern thing. This is my the part that's from here. Tomatoes with everything, like breakfast, dinner, sliced tomatoes was added to like every meal as just a little extra that you could have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tony would
I
be
dig
over
it.
every
Yeah.
day. Every day if he was your next door neighbor. Tony would be like, is Tony showing? Can Tony stay for dinner? Yes. Yes, he can. All
It's
right.
a snack, yeah.
Taylor, before we bid you adieu
Yes.
today, and we do miss you in the Breakfast Bowl, I just have to ask, knowing that you're a Chicago Bears supporter, long time,
Yes.
I know how you felt at a certain point. I asked you about this, but how you feeling about that second round pick for Chase Claypool at this point?
It doesn't look good right now.
No? All right.
It doesn't look good. I at the time, it was fine, I felt like, because at the time, number one, they didn't know they were going to be the first overall pick and give away the 32nd pick. I think they were thinking it was going to be a mid to late round second. But yeah, Chase, I don't even know what the deal is with that right now because Eberflus won't tell us the truth about anything. So it's just a lot of beating around the bush about what the situation is. But rumors are, because he called out coaches and said he would be playing better if they used him right. And then he now has not practiced or played since then. So I guess run your mouth.
You know, he put together a staff that is just bad enough that they can't even fire him. Because who would be the interim?
I know.
For
We
the
were
Chicago
just talking
Bears?
about that on Bears Twitter today. Like, what happens? And I was like, but what else? Like, you keep losing? Like, it's going to happen anyway.
Right. There's like PFT's speculating he could get fired if they
After
don't win
this game.
tonight.
Yeah,
if they
that's
lose.
kind of the rumors floating around. The Bears have never fired a coach in season.
Really?
No, never.
Huh.
So that's been like an interesting kind of thing surrounding of they've always waited until like maybe seconds after that final game, but it's never been in season.
They've
so.
never lost 15 in a row, which
Yeah.
would be what they would
Or-
have done tonight if they
Yeah.
fall to the
Or
Commanders,
allowed 25 plus points for 14 straight games.
which they've also done.
Yes.
A lot of firsts, D-Rock.
I was out of the corner of my eye. They have First Take and ESPN on up here, as you should. And someone had said the Bears are worse than the 0-16 Lions.
Yeah.
And I mean that's pretty bold when there's only 4 weeks in.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that, to me, I don't think the offense is that bad. I think that is going to continue to progress, and we'll see points, which like we kind of did last year. There's a stretch of 5, 6, 7 games where they were scoring 26, 30 points. But right now there's just no defense whatsoever, and it gets to the point where, I mean, everybody saw it last week at Denver, like against Denver, where you felt like it was in the bag, and the defense just allows 21 straight points from that.
Well, we encourage everybody to continue to check out Taylor and the ladies on Helmets and Heels every Tuesday night. And what else you got going on right now? Is that the main thing?
Yeah, that's it.
Podcasting?
Yeah, I do
Finishing a
have.
can, finishing
I'm
the
eating
can
this
of the
breakfast in
Take
a
that with
can.
you.
I have free breakfast from you. It's been a great day, honestly. But yeah, podcasting, a lot of Helmets and Heels, a lot of stuff going on right now, honestly. But it's been fun. It's wild that it's already October. Honestly, that's what kind of blows my mind at this point.
You feel like now maybe it's possible you're the second most well-known Taylor associated with the NFL? these days?
And honestly, barely second. Okay?
Just right, Jonathan Taylor. Obviously,
just depends
right?
on the city, because here you're number one.
You
without
see the
question.
story? The NFL is asking their broadcast partners to promote Taylor Swift's movie for free.
So, and it looks like they're trying to do it so she will play the Super Bowl halftime show. And I'm like, I knew this was all a ploy from the beginning.
NFL is not dumb. The NFL is not dumb.
And we're talking about it, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
as if they need more people talking about them.
Yeah.
But
Watching is the key. They need, people watching. They
Yeah.
want to drag in the non-football
you're right about
audience.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's why they did a Toy Story game this week.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
by the way, everyone tells me
It was pretty cool.
they loved.
I
played
had a
buddy with
hard
my-
time with the broadcast in Wembley.
Did
so
you?
yeah,
Okay.
it was not.
I didn't see a
good
bit of
for
it.
me, but I've
Didn't-
heard positive things.
My
about
buddy's
it.
got a little kid, is 4 years old, said, oh, it was fantastic. Watched the whole game that way, and he, because he wanted to actually watch football. So, pretty smart. Gateway drug.
Yeah, we actually, because I was hosting a watch party out at Boston's for 1010XL. So there was a big group of Jags fans, a lot of kids though, and all the kids had their tablets watching that version of it. So it was like kind of cool to see. So I saw bits of it, not the whole game, but it honestly looked pretty cool from what I could see.
All right, Taylor, always great to see you.
You guys
Enjoy
too.
the rest of your breakfast.
Thank
and D-Rock, just so you know, D-Rock said, you better take some paper towels in case someone throws this.
Well, I wasn't sure.
Okay.
You guys were not.
There's weak stomachs
I think
here.
I
You
said
don't know.
Hukes it up. I said Hukes.
Maybe
my
he
word.
said Hughes.
Hummus.
Perhaps he did. All right, here's what we'll do. Rather than squeeze in Press Taylor and not have time to discuss it, we got a few more thoughts from him coming up later on in the hour. Breakfast Bowl is on the other side. And may we never have this again for breakfast, perhaps. I mean, it was fun. Like
It's
I said,
fine.
You could survive it. You wouldn't choose it necessarily. Who would be choosing this? There's somebody in the English countryside that's got a
must
pantry
choose it 'cause
full of
they
this.
make it.
Obviously, that's what I'm saying. Who is that though? I don't know who that person is. Take that away. Yeah, don't throw that away in here because it is going to stink up the studio.
I'm taking it to the kitchen.
All right. Taylor has left the studio. We are going to take a timeout. We'll come back with Breakfast Bowl Week 5. More from Press Taylor to come here. Another Taylor involved with the National Football League. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Underdog Fantasy. Play their Pick'em game. Play the Pick'em game tonight. Play it on Sunday. Play it on Monday. Play it on any time you've got a little NFL action that you want to watch and maybe watch your favorite players, root them on to higher heights. All you have to do to play Pick'em, it's so easy. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the Underdog Fantasy app, click on the Pick'em tab, and then go higher or lower on 2 to 5 player stats and watch to see if your picks hit. There's tons of players and tons of stats that are projected for you to choose from. It's really that easy. And Underdog announced with the beginning of the football season, they're doing a promotion called 100K Sundays. Every Sunday giving away $10,000 in cold hard cash to 10 different winners simply because they're playing Pick'em. Your picks don't have to hit for you to win that $10,000, but if they do hit, you can win even more. How do you get involved? Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app in the App Store. You do have to be 18 or older, present in a state like Florida where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ncpgambling.org.
Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute studios.
JOI, where the pros go. He started his career coming off the edge, and now he cuts the coach's film.
Join me, Jeff Lageman, for Check the Tape Tuesday on Jaguars Today.
Brought to you by Mr. Sparky of the First Coast, your on-time electrician on 1010XL.
TV's everywhere to watch sports, delicious food, drinks, league play nearly every night for billiards and poker, award-winning gumbo. 9-Ball Heaven is the place to be off University Boulevard with all this and more. An upscale, non-smoking sports bar and billiards hall. The place to watch the game and shoot pool with your friends. 9-Ball Heaven also offers private parties, a private bar, and catering. 9-Ball Heaven, where the players play.
Do you feel a ghastly presence in your septic tank this Halloween? A septic emergency is spookier than a haunted house. Call Duck Duck Rooter at 904-862-6769 to schedule your septic tank pumping today.
Start your Saturday with a whiff of the great outdoors.
Captain Kevin Favor here with Captain Kirk and Jeff Lagerman. We bring you the fresh air of the great outdoors.
On the Nimnit Outdoors Show, presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services on 1010XL.
Baloo for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinaktriDC.com.
Brackish Vodka, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is the smoothest local vodka you can find. Made right here in Jacksonville, Florida, 100% from corn, Brackish Vodka is the local gluten-free choice. Brackish Vodka, for those that live life slightly salty, a proud partner of the Jaguars. The next time you're at Fresh Spot Lounge, make sure you tell the bartender you like it slightly salty with Brackish Vodka.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Storms are part of every season. Make sure you're protected. Call American Electrical to make sure you have the best in surge protection. Don't lose your home electronics to a lightning strike. Call 737-7770 for American Electrical.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
Huge Glock sale going on now at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Stop in today with prices on Glock sidearms so good we can't even say it on this radio commercial. No lines, no hassle, only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
All right, Jeff, all I need you to say is, hi, I'm Jeff Lagerman, and me and everybody I played professional football with thinks Shark Coatings is the best.
I'm not going to do that.
You can't. What will you say?
Well, I mean, look, the floor is durable, it's easy to clean, it looks fantastic. It's the second time I've used it. What more do I need to say?
I mean, that works too, I guess.
Okay. Can you step off the ladder?
No one's going to know.
Trust me, they'll know. You're not as tall as I. Thanks.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and beautiful people all across the world, let's get ready for the Breakfast Bowl Challenge!
It's a Mike DeRocco Thursday on Jaguars Today is brought to you by Lloyd's Heating and Air on 1010XL.
All right, that worked out okay. Mm-hmm. You saved it, Pockets.
Yeah,
nice
the beat
job.
dropped. I killed the beat, but it's all right.
It's all right. The beat has dropped. I dropped the ball last week. Terrible. Tony, give us the recap from last week, if you would.
Last week, I won the week with 133.5. It was D-Rock coming up in second with 76.2, then Dylan 67.3, and Dempsey, for want of one more catch from somebody on that roster, was buying breakfast this week with 65.3.
Yeah, like literally D-Rock, halfway through the second quarter of each of their games, I had George Kittle and Keenan Allen still to go 2.5 quarters each. So 5 quarters of football, needed one catch. Didn't get a single catch.
You hate to see it.
5 quarters of football. Pockets was so damn happy.
You hate to see it, man.
Shut up, Pockets. All right. The Pockets, what do you call that? His grace period has ended. He's now on the bad list now. All right. I lost. I took it like a champ because Pockets went and delivered the breakfast. I appreciate that. I did purchase it, though. And all right, here we go. Breakfast Bowl. We draft a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end, and a flex every week. It is point per reception scoring for those of you who play fantasy football. The 2 tricks are once you take a player, it's the only time you can use them all year. And once somebody else takes a player, nobody else can have that player in the same week. So I think everybody understands the rules around these parts. And I will go with a nice 10-day rest period after getting 32 carries. Give me 32 more from David Montgomery, please, at running back this week. So I'm going to start it off with David Montgomery, and I believe Pockets, you are second up.
Yes, I am. Let me go with James Conner, running back, Arizona Cardinals.
All right, James Conner it is. Off the board, D-Rock.
Oh, yeah. It kind of threw me a little bit right there.
His two favorite guys on the board
let me
this
go
week.
Bijan, please.
Bijan Robinson. Tony Smith.
Let's see. I will go Joe Mixon.
Mix it up. I'm
And
going to make a stupid comment about everyone's player now.
That's, you're just bitter.
Mix it up.
Bitter loser.
And let's see, what did I have at that spot? I'll go.
People are wondering, how's that any different than every other day?
Right? Yeah. Michael Pittman Jr.
Michael Pittman Jr. All right, there you go. Pittman off the board. D-Rock, back to you with Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Nico Collins.
Okay, Nico coming off a monster game. By the way, you look at it. The Jags were the one team to hold Nico down. Like, he had 80 yards. His worst game other than that was 80 yards. He had two monster games. So I guess that's one bright spot. Dylan, you got James Conner. Who's next?
Wide receiver, Puka Nacua.
Puka. Okay. All right. I'm going to go with I got the grid up in front of me because I'm not going to do it to myself. I'm going to go Travis Kelce against Minnesota this week. And I got a lot of wide receivers to choose from here. I'm going to go with Breece Hall of the Jets in the flex going up against Denver this week. Dylan, back to you.
So let me go tight end Evan Ingram.
All right. You got him. Evan Ingram off the board. D-Rock.
Justin Fields, please.
Okay, looking there. Oh, that's D-Rock who's already taken Ingram. All right, Fields. Chase those points from last week, baby. I love it.
Feeling good.
That's tonight, right? Washington. Right? Tony. Back-to-back.
I will go Tyler Higbee. And let's see, Sam Howell.
I wanted Sam Howell. All right, Sam Howell it is. D-Rock, back to you. Tight end or a flex?
Darren Waller.
Oh, man, good luck, bro.
Has he killed you?
They don't even look at him. I mean, honestly, like...
it's the right matchup for him, but they
Daniel Jones had completed 14 out of 17 in the first half the other night, had one 5-yard pass to Darren Waller. Just absolutely unconscionable. All right, Pockets, I believe you're up next.
I am. Let me get Terry McLaurin tonight.
Okay. All right, let me see here.
Quarterback and wideout.
Yep. I just want to check on something. I really thought I might get Sam Howell tonight. You know what? Give me a bounce back here. Tua.
Dang it.
Going against the Giants. And could probably throw a few to Tyreek Hill. I'll go with Tyreek Hill right there. That's the I just bought breakfast. Let me go with as many Pro Bowlers as I can put in there. And Breece Hall. All right, Dylan, need your quarterback,
Kirk
please.
Cousins.
Kirky. All right, D-Rock, need a flex.
Yeah, I'm going to go with another bounce back with Jalen Waddle.
Okay. I hope he has a big game. And Tony, a flex for you.
I will go Devon Achane.
Okay, I like him this week. For sure. All right, here's what we got. I went Tua, David Montgomery, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Breece Hall. Dylan's got Kirk Cousins, James Conner, Puka Nacua, Evan Ingram and Terry McLaurin. D-Rock rolling with Justin Fields, Bijan Robinson, Nico Collins, Darren Waller, and Jalen Waddle. Tony's got Sam Howell, Joe Mixon, Michael Pittman Jr., Tyler Higbee, and Devin Achane, as he likes to be known. I really did give some consideration to Calvin Ridley, but once I pulled the Tua trigger, I felt like going for the hookup there.
Yeah.
But, Ridley, no Tre'Davious White. I think it's a big deal this week. So hopefully Calvin Ridley can take advantage. All right, Breakfast Bowl is in the books. So let's break now so we can come back on the other side and bring you a few of those thoughts of Press Taylor. Tony's going to take us around the league. We'll look at today's Chad and Sandy Real Estate questions of the day, offensive and defensive MVPs through the first quarter of the season. A lot to do, one segment to do it. We'll knock it all out next. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. I'm telling you, Dandy is shaking their heads right now. We have great breakfast items, they're thinking. Yes, they do, ladies and gentlemen. They even had items that help keep me in a weight loss mode, right? Some low-calorie items, some stuff that's really healthy and good for you. Look, Danny's got a great line of sandwiches and subs. I'll eat those tuna salad sandwiches till they're coming out of my ears. But I went to them and I said, look, I'm doing this deal, trying to lose some weight. Do you have any lower calorie offerings? They say, try our turkey medallion salad, the chicken Caesar salad, the Southwest chicken salad. Try some of our protein packs, which are low calorie but high energy to get you through the afternoon. They got a little something for everybody. Wherever you are, if you're hungry and you're in Duval, swing into a gate station, head to the Fresh Case, and look for that Dandy or Anytime Deli label. It's a Jacksonville-based company that's thrived for over 65 years. They're the name to know in Duval for food on the go. So when you're hungry, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy. And do it today.
This is Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute studios.
JOI, where the pros go. It's back-to-back in Great Britain.
Calvin Ridley against his old team.
The Jags look to turn out the lights on the high-powered Buffalo Bills.
Lights out in London. And that ought to do it.
Jaguars, Bills, all the way from the UK. Sunday morning at 9:30 on 1010XL.
And the Jags are going to win. The Jags are going to win.
Home of the Jaguars.
You can have exceptional water quality without the hefty price. With Kanaya Water Systems, a premium, high-quality water and filtration system that won't leave your wallet taking an L. Search KENAI Water Jacksonville.
The best time of the year for blue crabs? Right now at the Blue Crab Crab House. They've been open since 1996, and they are a staple here in Duval. Sundays, you have the Bloody Mary specials. Mimosas as well, $2.50 noon until 5 o'clock. Of course, each and every Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oysters. Right off of San Jose on Jewington Creek Road, it is the Blue Crab Crab House.
Tired of playing defense against your old AC system? Then it's time for a game-changing solution with Bolt City Heating and Air. Their NATE certified techs can tackle the most challenging AC issues. And local family ownership means Bolt City AC can provide fast premium service with a more competitive price. This month, they're offering 0% financing on a new Carrier system with payments starting at just $110 a month. So be cool, be bold, and visit BoldCityAC.com.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamfindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Ow! That really hurts. Who throws a shoe?
Helmets and Heels.
Honestly.
With Lauren, Taylor, and Mia.
Tuesday nights at 6.
Driven by Tire Outlet.
And presented by Underwood Jewelers.
You fight like a woman.
On 1010XL.
You know, real estate research right now says housing prices are still rising slowly and inventory is still below historical averages. That means if you think your home right now is unsellable or there's a host of problems, then you haven't met Chad and Sandy, who will make sure those problems become promises. Chad and Sandy are the only real estate experts we trust and recommend with the sale of your home. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts. Derek and Ashley out in St. John's Harbor said we were building a new home, but we had a big problem. 2 months on the market, and we had no showings and no offers with another agent. We were super stressed. Then we heard Chad and Sandy guarantee sale on the radio and hired them. They created an amazing plan to sell quickly and maximize price. The home sold in 10 days for more money than the previous realtor had listed. That's the promise and the proof of ChadandSandy.com. Go there today, ChadandSandy.com, or call them in office, 904-414-6200.
Whether you are looking for a job or an employer trying to hire, there's only one stop in Jacksonville, Remedy Staffing. Labor trends keep us guessing. As employers, the job market has been strong. So what does that mean for workers' availability? If you're interested in the workforce solutions or how the Remedy team can help you, call or text Crystal at 904-329-9802. 329-9802, Remedy Staffing.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and Lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
In order for the Jags to match the high-powered Bills offense on Sunday, they must be better on third downs. Trevor Lawrence spoke with media about how he believes they can improve.
Adjusting to maybe different looks, we need to do a better job, and that's including myself. If we get a different, whether it's a front, a coverage, a pressure, whatever, we got to be able to adjust to those better in game, and I think that's something we're not doing a great job of right now. So that's on us, is just knowing the ins and outs of everything and how to respond to different looks and different scenarios, and we have to be better as players there, and then just execution.
Trevor Lawrence, courtesy of Jaguars.com. I'm Molly McDonald with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mike DeRocco on Jaguars Today is kept comfortable by Lloyd's Heating and Air on 1010XL.
You comfortable over there, D-Rock? Everything good? Want to make sure you're comfortable.
I'm headed for a nap.
Are you?
It's a good thing this show doesn't go till 1.
When you get home, crank up your Lloyd's air conditioning, and you can. Do you like to sleep when it's really cold?
I have no choice because my wife likes to sleep where it's really cold.
Thank you, Lloyd's Heating and Air. All right, so people say, man, they screw around in that show a lot, right? They sure do. When are they going to talk sports? Well, let's crush them for the next 12 minutes. So let's let Tony take you around the National Football League. Right now,
Gems Around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
Houston has opened the 21-day practice window for offensive tackle Titus Howard. The Texans also placed guard Kendrick Green on their injured reserve with a knee injury that has been reported to be a torn meniscus. We'll see how much time he actually has to miss. Indianapolis running back Jonathan Taylor was a full participant for the Colts on Wednesday at practice. Carolina running back Miles Sanders was limited in practice on Thursday due to a groin injury. Baltimore Ravens wide receiver Rashad Bateman was a full participant at practice Wednesday as he works back from a hamstring injury. Odell Beckham Jr. was limited with an ankle injury, and running back Justice Hill for the Ravens was limited with foot and hamstring injuries. Detroit wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown did not practice on Wednesday with an abdomen injury. Lions wide receiver Jamison Williams who is returning from his 4-game gambling suspension, was a full participant in practice on Wednesday. Williams had a hamstring injury during the preseason that appears to not be a problem as he gets back on the practice field now for the Lions. LA Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp was a limited participant in practice on Wednesday. And Week 5 in the NFL gets underway tonight with the 0-4 Chicago Bears at the 2-2 Washington Commanders, 8:15 kickoff on Amazon Prime.
15 in a row. 14 in a row is the record for the Bears in terms of a losing streak all time. They can go in for 15 in a row. They're not probably going for it, but that's potentially in their future tonight. All right, so with that, let's hear a few thoughts from Press Taylor as we get ready to wrap up that portion of the program today. And, you know, it's been a struggle to some degree, a work in progress at the very least. Press Taylor asked yesterday if he feels like the team, though, is close offensively to where he wants them to be.
We think so. And again, the dynamics of the game changed where it didn't seem to benefit us to be super aggressive and trying to get to the perimeter and risking negative yardage plays. Some of it was, let's keep going straight ahead. You know, we'll pop some of these eventually, which we did or we didn't. We probably didn't in that game. But again, some movements came off. We get a 30-yard gain to Evan rolling off there on a run cell where their defense is committed to it. We go into the game knowing that's a really good front. You have a lot of calls that you don't get to just because, again, when you're sitting on a 17-point lead and the dynamics of the game change, you play the game a little differently than you planned to when it was 0-0 and you had 4 quarters ahead of you. So there are things we need to continue to get better at those move forward.
And one more here from Press Taylor, who was also asked about the value of having a guy like Walker Little that can play multiple spots and played it really well at left tackle for him through the first month.
He's kind of a security blanket for us just within the staff of knowing he can align in multiple spots. Being able to play left tackle and right tackle is not as easy as people think. You know, you're right hand dominant on the right side, left hand on the left side. So that's a little harder than I think people would realize. And then being able to move inside where there's less space, everything's constricted, everything happens faster. A guy that can handle that and do that at a high level is really invaluable for us.
You know, we thought about putting Walker Little in the poll today in terms of offensive MVP for the first month. You listen to Baselli and Loggeman, who, you know, do a better job analyzing offensive line play certainly than most of us do in the media. Said clearly he's been the best offensive lineman, right? Now, you know, he can play left tackle. It seems like he's going to slide inside to left guard and hopefully improve that position as well. We're sitting there debating, though, like, you know, we want the people in the poll that we think are going to draw the most votes. So maybe that was an oversight. Maybe it wasn't. It was tough for me to leave Ridley off, though, you know, with the yardage that he's had, the average per catch, a couple of touchdowns. I know it hasn't been perfect. He's had the drops, he's had the penalties, but there's really not been a perfect player on the offensive side of the ball. D-Rock, who's been the offensive MVP, and by how clear of a margin for you in the first quarter of the season?
Yeah, you know, when you told me about this question beforehand, I was like, ooh, that's kind of tough. I guess it would be, for me, it would be Trevor. You know,
if it wasn't Trevor, who would it be?
Ingram?
Okay.
Evan Ingram. I mean, I know that, you know, he hasn't gotten the end zone yet, but he's been dependable. He's been the safety valve is not. I don't like to use that term because it just implies that, you know, they don't look for him any other times. But he has been very, very good with the ball in his hands. He's a hard runner. He's getting them extra yards, and you know, is he tied for the lead? With all NFL, or either in the lead or tied for the lead with all NFL tight ends in receptions. So that's who probably I would go with if I didn't go with Trevor. Okay, you know, they're probably neck and neck, to be honest with you.
Didn't put him in the poll either, Tony. As it turned out, is it Trevor for you? And if it's not, who is it?
It'd be Trevor for me. I get it that maybe he's not playing at the quote elite level, you know, that a lot of people expected that he may be at this season, but I don't think Trevor's playing bad, certainly. And on an offense where we're still waiting to see what the identity is going to be, I think Trevor's played pretty well through the first month of the season. And if I was, my second place vote would go for ETN.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too, which is where people went here. Yeah. They went 50% voting for Trevor, about 225 votes. Interestingly enough, about 100 less than voted for the defensive MVP. But regardless, Trevor getting 50%, ETN about 33%. Kirk with about 14 and 3% for Calvin Ridley. And, who knows what Ingram and Walker Little would have drawn there. But I think, again, behind what's been a less than stellar offensive line, I think part of the value of Trevor has been avoiding even more negative plays.
Yeah.
Even if some of those plays are not turned into positives, sometimes just an incomplete pass is the preferable outcome on a snap.
The touchdown throw to Ridley. Have you? I'm assuming,
Which one? The one this week?
The one this past week.
Yes.
He evades the free rusher,
Mhm.
dips inside, and then just unleashes a great throw as he's just seconds before absolutely getting crushed in the chest by Caden Ellis. It was a phenomenal play. Phenomenal play by Trevor Lawrence.
Well, the one the week before against Houston, right on the hands of Calvin Ridley.
Right.
I think he's done that. We've noticed there are different outlets that grade like big time throws. Trevor Lawrence has been among the league's best in that category, and his guys haven't always caught him. Again, I'm not saying no one here is saying that anyone has been perfect on this team. Clearly, Trevor's had his warts as well, but maybe fewer than anybody else on offense.
I know he's got 2 picks, but the first one was off Tank Bigsby's hands.
Correct.
That's on Tank Bigsby, not on
The second
Trevor.
one was a bad throw.
The second one was a bad throw, desperation time.
Yeah.
But, again, 1 interception.
It might not have been.
Might not have had to make that throw.
Right.
in a normal
Well,
game.
it wasn't that desperate. But again, quarterbacks are going to throw some interceptions,
absolutely.
and that's part of it.
He's not the reason that they have been struggling offensively. Not the main
biggest reason.
Not the
Correct.
main reason. Let me
Correct.
rephrase that. Yeah, I think we can all agree the main reason is the offensive line.
All right, defensively, as I said, about 325 votes on this one. Yeah, Josh Allen, Tyson Campbell, Andre Sisco, Foye Oluokun. I think we'd all presume with 6 sacks, we'd probably all vote for Josh Allen as the defensive MVP, right? So who's the next most valuable player on defense right now?
Andre Sisco, to me. 2 interceptions. He's got to work on his ball security because there's no way he should have fumbled that other interception against
Right.
the Falcons. He could have been in the end zone. Should have been in the end zone. But he's been around the ball. That was the book on him at Syracuse is that he's always around the ball. He makes turnovers, and now we're starting to see that. So I think it's funny because you're already looking at some of this. We all talk about Trevor's big contract that's coming. But, man, you want to keep Sisco and you want to keep Tyson Campbell. You're going to be starting to dole out some big money here starting soon. So.
Come on, new TV contract. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and obviously the salary cap's going to go up. But still, that's another guy that they got to pay.
Yep. All right, Tony, for you, if it's not Allen, who is it?
It would be Sisco, and I think it's a defense that's playing really well right now, but he brings an attitude with him, right? Like he's a big hitter. He's around the ball a lot when it's in the air. He's making plays on the ball, fumble recoveries, forced fumbles, interceptions, all that kind of stuff. And when he gets there, we talked about him putting on weight in this offseason. It has shown up in the first month of the year. When he hits you, you feel it, right? Like Andre Sisco is a physical force in that secondary for the Jaguars right now. And I think for a team that doesn't have any of that basically on the offensive side, right? No attitude guy on that side of the ball right now. On the defensive side of the ball, they got a bunch of what I think are good players, but not a bunch of attitude guys. I think Sisco is kind of the attitude on the football team right now, too. So I would give my vote to Josh Allen, but Sisco would get my second vote pretty easily.
Yeah, I'd give my vote to Josh Allen. I'd actually vote for Foye Oluokun, just because I think he's just the same guy every week.
As
right?
steady as they can go.
And it's not flashy, and granted, Sisco has made more flashy plays. There's no question about it. I don't think he's a bad candidate at all in terms of selecting a team MVP on the defensive side. But I just think Foye, because he isn't flashy, kind of gets overlooked a little bit. He's on pace once again to have about the same amount of tackles he had last year. He's got 46 tackles through 4 games. So, that's going to put him up around 180. He led the league with 184 last year after leading it the year prior in Atlanta with 192. So that's what he does. He goes out there and he makes the plays that are there. I'm sure he'll have a few sacks and turnovers as the season goes on, but it's not his forte necessarily. Didn't have any interceptions last year, but did end up with a couple of sacks. So the steady presence, there's some value to knowing what you're going to get out of certain guys every single week. So anyway.
2 fumble recoveries this year already.
Yeah, well, there you go. As an example, 63% going with Allen, 22.7%, so 23% going with Cisco, 10% for Foye, 4% for Tyson Campbell in the poll that we ran today.
The interesting thing is, we have not heard a whole heck of a lot about Tyson Campbell, which is actually a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because that means he's not giving up big plays, he's not getting tested a ton, and when he is, he's been there to make some plays. So the less you hear about a corner, I think is sometimes a good thing, and that's the case now.
All right, Pockets, what are we doing here? Did you send me something that?
No, I got the XR Prime Times out of Timaquana.
Oh, that's what I was saying. You did send something.
Yeah.
I was just looking for it. Yes,
Yeah.
Out of Timaquana for the Jim Furyk event. So let's go check in with him.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet, keeping 1010XL on track with wholesale prices and premium service. Tire Outlet, Jacksonville's largest locally owned automotive repair shop.
Personally, I think Timaquana should just invite Jaguars Today out to play the course after, so we can see what the tournament conditions were like. Maybe
not a bad idea.
after next Thursday's show, something like that. Joe C is out there at Timaquana right now for the Furyk and friends. What's up, Joey? How are you?
I would love to get you guys out here. You put Reimer or somebody on that, and hopefully they can get you out here. But, yeah, it looks
great. I believe
great.
we just put Joe C on that, as a matter of fact. I
thought Joe C had more pull, but apparently not.
Yeah, believe me, I am more and more familiar with my lack of pull these days. That's for sure.
Josie's like, hey, that foursome's for me, buddy. Don't know who you kidding.
Yeah, I tried to get 2 foursomes. I was only able to get 1.
It's all good,
but
man.
If you look at the back of this, and you guys can all picture it, but Timaquana, a look over the St. John's back to the city of Jacksonville, which they actually will have a ferry that will come every 30 minutes over the course of the tournament. It is just awesome. It is one of the best views in Jacksonville with the American flag flying right above us. There's a sound check going on right now. Sister Hazel with a private party tonight, so it's all going on. So anyway, we're loving it, man. We're fired up and ready.
Yeah, bro, I got a friend of mine who's a military vet. I played golf with him yesterday. He's like, yeah, absolutely. I'm going out this weekend. It's free for the military. They've got that set up over by the 16th, so it sounds like it's going to be a blast out there. No doubt. A great event.
Yeah, we'll be at the military outpost tomorrow, and it is nice to see a lot of our veterans show up, and so we will definitely be hanging out there. And this afternoon on the patio, now we're supposed to have Chris DeMarco, a former Gator, so we got to ask him about Billy Napier, but obviously he's competing in the event, so we'll be talking to him about that. Boo Weekley is out on the golf course right now in the Pro-Am, so we'll hear from him a little bit later on, and we're stoked. We're fired up and ready to go.
Love it, Joey. I'm sure you'll be getting into all kinds of pro and college football today, so we'll be listening with a great cast of characters out there at Timaquana. Have a great show, man.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right, there you go, Joe C. Now go find the right guy and put a bug in his ear right there. Pockets probably have football practice. That'll be a shame for him.
Yeah, I do.
Next Thursday. But
and it's unfortunate because it's right by the crib, man.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's like 95 minutes.
All right, well, Timaquana, just saying.
Yeah, holler at your boy.
Holler at us, yeah.
Wave as we drive by.
D-Rock, give me, other than turnovers, give me a key for the Jags if they're going to win this football game.
I honestly think they've got to run the ball this week.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds stupid.
Slow down the pass rush?
Yeah, a little bit because, how effective is Cam Robinson going to be? That's the question I have after not practicing. He's practiced for what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Let's. But if that.
Do you think we'll notice an improvement on the left side of the offensive line?
I think we will. Yes. Okay. If Cam Robinson can play somewhere close to the level. At his last preseason game, he played pretty darn well. If he can play close to that level and they can move the ball a little bit, at least now you've got a side of the ball, I think, where you feel like, okay, we can go to that side consistently. We've got the left tackle we feel good about. With Little at left tackle, you didn't feel good about the guard. Then that's why you brought in Shatley. So now, in theory, you think, okay, we feel good about the left side here. We can make some hay on the ground there. But I think this needs to be a big game for ETN and Tank Bigsby. And let's be honest, keep Josh Allen off the field. Yes, he can be a 3-interception guy, but he also can be a 4-touchdown guy. So
easily. 5-touchdown guy, I think he was last week, right?
Yeah.
For 4, ran for another one.
You don't want that.
So have you made your official prediction yet?
I have not, but I think I'm probably going to pick the Bills to win this game. But I think it'll be a little bit closer. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. It might be like 24-20 kind of thing like that.
No, last time they played, I guess the previous to the Urban Meyer year was 24-21, right? That's as Tony pointed out and reminded me, was the Leonard Fournette loses mind game.
Yes, it was.
And they were well on their way to winning that game, too.
Right.
If he
It
doesn't
wasn't
get
that.
tossed.
That's the last game before Nate Hackett got fired, too, I believe.
A lot of good memories coming back, flooding back into the senses. D-Rock, good to have you back in the States.
Glad to be here.
Be careful driving home. Don't fall asleep at the wheel, and then get a nice nap in this afternoon. It sounds like that's in your future.
Very much so.
Thank you for the full English breakfast. Thank you, Stoff, for providing, and I hope I never buy again in the breakfast bowl, but that is a given. All right, for Mike DeRocco, and let's see, got to bring you some Press Taylor, some Mike Caldwell today. For Taylor Dahl, who stopped in and classed up the joint, Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Tom McManus will join us tomorrow. We'll have confidence picks and keys to victory Friday. Very necessary, as the Jags going to need a lot of them to come through for them to beat the Buffalo Bills. That'll do it for us. XL Primetime is next on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Studios.
JOI.